What if your cravings, your fatigue, even the way you feed your baby aren't just about you, but about the people who came before you? Food is not just nourishment, it's memory, it's legacy, and every choice you make at the table is either repeating a cycle or rewriting it. Hello, love warriors, and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing great this week. My name is Just Flo. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. What do we do here? We talk about how to increase. I give tips on how to increase your vital energy and how to live peaceful, harmonious, loving relationships. So today, like you guys can see in the title, we're going to be talking about generational curses. I actually have a lot to talk about when it comes to this video, so I have no idea how it's going to go. It might be in two parts. I'm just going to let it flow. I have my points, so you guys will see me looking at my book a bit just to stay on track with the topics that I have for this video. So I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing great. I'm doing very good. There's a lot of projects in the works, so I hope you guys stay tuned and you see the projects that are coming out. Alrighty, let's talk about generational curses from a soul level lens, guys. So let's talk about the first thing I want to talk about. I want to share personally my journey and what I've learned about nurturing your body and nourishing your soul through breastfeeding. So becoming a mother has really changed how I view a lot of things. Before I was just a daughter, right? So I could only see life through the lens of being a daughter, and how I guess was betrayed by my parents, as you guys have seen in my other videos. But I have learned a lot about my lineage, about my ancestry, about my soul, actually, by breastfeeding, which is really odd, I guess, if you guys want to see it like that. But it is odd because you're like, breastfeeding? What does breastfeeding have to do with spirituality or anything, right? But I am nourishing. So women, we all know that women are a portal between the seen and the unseen world, right? And so during that journey of breastfeeding and nourishing this entity, you kind of see yourself as the earth that provides everything that your child needs, because breast milk is the best provision for children to grow their immune system, to grow their brain development, to continue that development that they need to be a healthy adult, right? So you see yourself as the earth when you kind of take the time to be like, wow, my body has everything it needs to nourish this child, this soul. And because I have everything I need to nourish this child, they will grow up to have everything that they need. And even when you, the person earth, is in deficit, your child will start taking from your hair, your bones. That's why you really need to eat well and rest well and do everything you need. So you need to make sure that you're well nourished and you're well taken care of, so that your child eating what they're drinking, however you see it, what they need, doesn't put you in a deficit or doesn't turn you into malnourishment, right? Because they will take what they need. And so by seeing it like that, I'm like, wow, the universe really provides everything that we need to succeed, everything that we need to grow, everything that we need to be functional souls living this human experience. We have everything that we need. The earth gives us everything that we need. The elements give us everything that we need. All the resources that are around us so that we can utilize them, so that we can accomplish what we need to accomplish to feel completely satisfied and fulfilled in ourselves, in what we're here to experience and what we're here to do and what we're here to develop in our whole healthy journey, right? Everything is meant to redirect us to, you have everything you need. You are everything you need. Like, I don't know what else is a great indication of, don't worry, we got you. And so even when we look at the breast and how the milk comes out, it's really connected to plants and how integrated they are with the earth and the soil, right? And it goes back to our ancestry and how integrated we are with our ancestors. And so it really got me thinking on, wow, if I have everything I need to nourish, right? The little moments that I took my body or I took a certain characteristic for granted, or I actually complained about it, maybe it was a message about something deeper. And so my biggest complaint about me is that I have always been slim. I have always been slim. I was athletic, and I eat a lot. Like, if you guys see how I eat as much as like a grown ass man. Especially now that I breastfeed, I'm like, I eat a lot. So you can't even say, oh, she's malnourished, nothing, because I eat a lot. It's just, and I learned through experimenting with myself, because I really experimented a lot with food, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But I've learned that I have a really fast metabolism. I burn a lot of energy, and that goes back into energy that we need to sustain our lives. And you know how I was talking about vital energy, chakras. That's why Bursting with Energy was such a great show, because there was all these methods to really be like, okay, you have energy and you need to take care of this vital energy, because this energy is needed in everything that you do. And understanding how your vital energy, your chakras, how you take care of yourself, how you show up for yourself is important, because it affects all relationships, all type of relationships that you have, because you need to give some of yourself to these projects that you guys have, to these goals that you guys have, this vision, your job, your family. You're essentially giving a part of yourself, right? And so you need to be able to regenerate, refill, and renourish your energetic system, right? And so let's go back to me being skinny. My biggest complaint was that I was skinny and I was burning off a lot of energy. And so I had to go back into my family lineage. Who is skinny? Everyone is basically skinny. If you go look, father, mother, everyone is skinny. The women gained weight over time after having several kids, but they were always thin. My mom was thin until her third child. And even then, she also complained about being thin. So in Africa, we have this thing that you can take, a pill that you can take to help you gain weight. She was so tired of being thin that she ended up taking one of those pills, right? And so, but if you look at her mother, thin till this day. On my dad's side, if you look at his mother, she didn't gain weight until maybe her 30s, 40s, because I'm in my 30s now. So in maybe her 40s, 50s, I would have to go back to the albums. And so when you look at their mothers were also thin. I went back and I was like, okay, they were slim, right? It's not this whole stereotype of fat ass, big this, big this. My family lineage is slim. And so I was like, okay, how does this pertain to me breastfeeding? Because you're really connected to your lineage through breastfeeding, because I believe that we are all of our ancestors, right? Because they are in our DNA. I know science has shown first that we have a connection to the last 7 generations. Now it's showing up to 15. But basically, you are all of your ancestors, right? They have been taken a part of your DNA composition. And so when you're nourishing your child, you're nourishing a whole ancestry. And when I am here, I'm nourishing a whole ancestry. And so you are essentially nourishing a whole tradition, a whole family, a whole value, a whole everything that created who you are today, right? And so you can be nourishing and amplifying things that actually brought down your family dynamic, brought down your family's self-esteem, brought down your family's value, and not inherent soul level value, but value in their mind, mental value, emotional value. Or you can nourish things that made you powerful, things that you wanted to embody, things that you found like, wow, that is inspirational. And so I'm looking at my child, because she's the one I'm breastfeeding. So I'm looking at my child and I'm like, wow, this is a beautiful tradition to be able to understand that you are earth, you are universe, you are nourishing this new creation that is now a part of your whole ancestry, and that you get to feed not only milk, which is physical, but spiritually you get to transfer an essence and a value and a tradition of you. And so that's why I was so against, because most of my family was like 6 months, 6 months is good, 6 months is good. That's why I was so against stopping so abruptly, because if she needs milk and she feels like this is what is fueling her and growing her, and mind you, my daughter is like huge for 18 months. And I don't mean weight wise, like length and heavy wise, like she's very healthy, by the way. And she eats too. But I'm like, why am I gonna force her to stop her milk when so many people in my family, in my ancestry, never got to be nourished like this, never got to be held like this, never got to be loved like this, never got to be embraced like this, never got to hear the heartbeat of their mother directly against their ears, never got to connect and regulate their emotions. And it gets me, I'm sorry guys, it gets me emotional, because I'm like, when I see a baby and like everything they need and that they receive from us, because they're unable to give at that moment, right? I think it's around 5 months that they start putting their finger in your mouth, and that's them showing empathy and showing gratitude for you feeding them. But they're learning from you, they're observing you, they're watching you. And so the way you nourish them, the way you treat them, the way you hold them, the way you share your values and your love with them is very important, because you're sharing that with a whole lineage. And that is part of healing and breaking generational curses. It's not just, oh, I see this in my family, let me cut that off and do that. It's not abrupt like that. It's like giving your family, giving yourself, because you are a result of that family, right? Your soul chose this body because it's like, I can heal this aspect of love, I can heal this aspect of harmony, I can bring peace into this family that has known chaos, that has known hurt, that has known pain. And I can do that by honoring and loving myself, honoring and loving my boundaries, honoring and loving my life, my vision, my mission. And then when I have a child that I want to transfer and pass this legacy onto, I can embrace them, I can hold them, I can feed them, I can nourish them, and I can teach them that you are loved, you are held, you are everything that you need to be, you are whole, you are the universe, you are you, and you are free. And I am here for you for anything that you need. Like, I am here for your alignment, I am here for your highest and greatest good, I am here for your highest and greatest love, right? And through nourishing this child, you're also nourishing your inner child, right? So when you go into a mission with all this hate against your family and with all this miscommunication and this apathy against them and this non-forgiveness, you're actually holding that inside of you, and you're blocking parts of you from coming through and fully being able to embrace you, because your ancestors are also here to embrace you through this journey. Some things that they never got to experience, they will get to experience through you. And so that is part of breaking generational curses, guys. That is so much, that's it's healing, it's relieving, it's everything that they wanted and everything that you want. And you're able to give that to yourself, right? If you have the energy, right? Because if you need the energy, guys, let's not forget, we're not going to use any excuse to not give ourselves what we need to give ourselves. We don't do that over here. So if you need a coach that will help you generate your vital energy so that you can start living these peaceful, harmonious, loving relationships, holla at your girl, Just Flow. Link in the description. Give yourself what you need. So yeah, something that I complained about my whole life, which was being slim. I'm like, no, The complaint, to be honest, is from a social perspective, because I actually love my body, to be honest. It's just like, wait, why don't I have a fat ass? It's more in that aspect, but this body gives me everything that I needed to give me. This body holds me so much, holds my soul. It holds my soul, and it allows me to go to the places that my soul needs to go to accomplish my mission. And so this body is precious to me. It feeds my daughter. It loves my partner. It hugs my sisters. It's everything I need it to be. So yeah, cherish your body. Cherish your body. And we're still staying in body. I love that in body sounds like embody. So we're still staying on the topic of in body, and how that journey actually before my daughter led me to having this whole conflict with food. Because I was like, am I not eating enough? Do I need to do this? Then it's like, I don't want to go to the gym, because when I go to the gym, I need to eat more, and I lose weight, and even though I eat more, it looks like I'm not eating enough because I'm still losing weight. So it created this whole conflict with how I should move, because I didn't know how to necessarily nurture my body well. And we'll talk about that. That's a whole other video. But it took me on this journey that was so beautiful with food as well, because I found so many things that I loved, right? I started feeding myself better, because I've always had bowel movement problems when I was younger. And if for those of you that are Afro descendants, you know that a lot of the food that we eat, semoule, fufu, manioc, they're really heavy. And so they really like sit in your stomach, right? And so a lot of the times when I was young, I would wake up with stomach aches because I wasn't digesting well. And so I never had regular bowel movement, which is important to have, right? Because you need to flush out. And then I started on my journey. I started doing research, and I was like, hey, the food is poisoning us. What is going on? What is going on here? The food is not doing what the food is supposed to be doing. And so there was this whole rebellion that started within me that was like, you know what? I'm going to become vegetarian, and fuck the meat system. Fuck all this. Fuck, like, excuse my language. But I'm going to rebel. My body is going to rebel against what this toxic system has in store for us, because it's enslaving our mind, it's enslaving our bodies, it's enslaving our emotions, and I don't want to be a part of this. I've always been a silent rebellious girl, so that's where Love Warrior comes from. But so there was that whole journey, which was beautiful, honestly, and it all started because I got more aware of my body, and I got more aware of what I was putting into my body and what I needed for it to be at full capacity. So that whole rebellion started. And it taught me so much about fruits and vegetables and how it helped my digestive system, about herbs and how you can detox, about juices, about oh, I forgot the name, about sea moss. Whoa, okay, yeah, I had to skip me, about sea moss. And about all these plants. I just learned so much that I never would have learned if I never took on the journey of understanding my body, understanding the nourishment, understanding how I could have a better relationship with my food, right? So not only was my body allowing me to understand my ancestry, my lineage, what needed to be fed, it also helped me understand how to connect with it better, how to connect with nature, how to connect with what made it feel good, what nourished it, what really fueled my body. And so that in itself is also breaking generational curses, because a lot of the time it's just eat what I feed you. You're under my roof, you eat what I make for you. And that can create a lot of digestive problems. It can create a lot of emotional problems, and it creates a lot of physical problems. Self-esteem problems, uncertainty, because you'll never really understand, what is it that nourishes me? Why am I eating? What is the role of food? And so if you don't question those things as well, you're still going to fall into the same patterns that your parents had, that your ancestors had, which is you eat what I feed you, which comes from the slave era, okay? You eat what I feed you. So it's really important to really dive and discover who you are and what your patterns are and why you're doing the things that you're doing. All right? Yes. One thing that I have recently really been more hyper aware of is nourishing my soul, because the fuel you get for your food and for your body should also be good for your soul, but then there's certain practices and activities that are specifically good for your soul. And so you have to have a good balance of, when am I nourishing my soul? What am I nourishing my soul? Your soul feeds off of energy, emotions, thoughts. It either allows your body to strengthen your nervous system, your aura field, your energetic field, your magnetic field, and take in more of who you truly are. Or it shrinks the passageways to your soul. And so you might be feeding your physical body, but then you're not necessarily feeding your soul. And if you're not necessarily feeding your soul, then you're not tapping into your purpose. And if you're not tapping into your purpose, what is the point of everything that you do? Is it just a repeat of everything that you see, society, family, lineage, friends, everybody else's story but your own? So yeah, be aware also of, how am I nourishing my soul? How am I nourishing the things that matter? How am I nourishing my audience, for me specifically, my community? So much. When it comes to food and nourishment and nurturing, there's just so much to unpack there. Like, wow. I invite you guys to work with me if you want to dive deep into that, because there's really a lot to unpack. I hope I got the major points out when it comes to these things. Oh, one more point. This really, a lot of what I said ties back to women, because they're the ones that are primarily feeding and nurturing their families, right? I know a lot of chefs also, male chefs, are nurturing and feeding. And so in those moments of nourishing the people around you, you're constantly giving food away. You might not necessarily eat because you want to make sure that everybody else is eating, everybody else is having a fun time, everybody else is fed, everybody else is enjoying. And so you kind of forget to give that to yourself, because you're watching and making sure that everybody else has that. So you tend to forget to fill your own cup, fill your own plate. And you're looking at others, and if you see, oh, someone else doesn't have enough, then you'll give your plate away, right? Because no, they have to be okay. You also have to be okay. You need to make sure that your cup is filled, your plate is filled, so that you can keep doing what you love doing. You being so invested in feeding and nourishing others means that you love that. It's part of what you love doing. It's not just something that was imposed to you because you're the eldest, or something that's imposed to you because you're a chef. It's something that you love doing, and so you're sharing that with other people. And so if you want to share that with other people in a peaceful, loving, and abundant way, you need to make sure that your cup is filled and your plate is filled, so that you can always be giving from a place that is filled.
Oh, hi.
Hey. From a place, we'll pause here. From a place that is fulfilled in satisfaction and je suis rassasiée. From a full cup. I've been putting French in there for you guys. From a filled cup. Make sure, don't give others what is meant to be yours. Stop giving away your power is basically what I'm saying. Stop giving away your food. Stop giving away your drink. Stop giving away your energy, if you guys understand the flow. Stop giving it away, because you need to be full. You need to be fulfilled. You need to be satisfied. You need to be loving. You need to be abundant. You need to be épanoui. What is that? Épanoui. I don't know. I'll find it and put the word in the on top of me, but you also need to be all that you are. And for you to be all that you are and to share that with others is even more beautiful than you coming from a half place and sharing that with others. So I hope that makes sense. Is there anything else that I want to say when it comes to nourishment, lineage, and generational curses, or else we're going to move on to the next topic? Every time you breathe in a thought, every time you breathe in an image, every time you breathe in energy, that's nourishing every part of you as well. It's nourishing every part of your cell, every part of your brain, every part of your essence, every part of your environment. You are bringing that energy in, and then you're sharing it just through breath work. So when you think of a food and you say, oh, that's disgusting, but then you eat it, you're in contradiction right there, and you're dropping your vibration, you're dropping your vibe, you're decreasing all that your body wants. When you breathe in and you sense and you feel and you smell, think of smell already, things that make you feel excited, things that make you joyous. Have you guys ever had that thing where you eat and then all of a sudden you're happy and you're laughing and it's a vibe? That is high vibrational energy, and it starts in your thoughts, it starts in the energy, it starts in the feeling, it starts in how you guys breathe when you're in a community and you're sharing that together. That breaks generational curses, because you innately know what is good for your body, and you innately know what your body is like constrained about. It's like, this feels uncomfortable, this feels forced, this feels like it's enslaving me, this feels like it's chaining me up, this makes me feel suffocated. You guys know that. So tune into those feelings, tune into those things that are like, this is not nourishing to my soul, this is not nourishing to my mind, this is not nourishing to my thoughts, this is not nourishing to my family, this is not nourishing to my ancestry, this is not nourishing to anything that I am. If it doesn't feel like it's nourishing anything that you are, then do not take it in. Do not take it in. Work with your power, guys. Work with what generates energy within you, and you will see that everything else begins to unfold so naturally, so easily, and everything that constrained you, just, it no longer has power over you, right? Yeah. Take the time to be silent with yourself. Take the time to just sit in and feed off of and digest and consume everything that nourishes all that you are, your whole being, leaving no parts to the side, leaving no division. It feeds all of you. That doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the things that make you the junk. And when I say junk, it's not just food. It could be Netflix, it could be shows, it could be partying, it could be whatever. It doesn't mean that you can't enjoy those things once in a while. It just means that you're doing it with a set intention. You're doing it with knowing that this doesn't throw me off. This is just a part of my journey, and it's serving who I am. I think we're going to do this in different parts. I think this will just be food. We'll cut it short, or else this is going to be a whole hour, because I have a lot more I want to talk about when it comes to generational curses. So we'll do this into a series. If you guys have questions, write them in the comments, email me, or book a session. You guys know I have a free intro chat, so just chat with me and we get to know each other. And that's pretty much it when it comes to generational curses and nourishment. The answer is in your habits. See you in the next one, guys.